We had a series of alarms in our turbine Kincardine 4 in early December 2023. Once analyzed, the conclusion was that we needed to replace the generator of the turbine. Up to this moment, the only way to do it was to tow to port, which is something that is very expensive.
Due to the amount of the generator replacement that we have had in these periods, we needed to find an alternative solution for the towing.
We knew that an up-tower crane like the one from Liftoff can be erected on top of the nacelle for a V164 from Vestas. It is a transfer of technology from the onshore to the floating wind, but all the particularities that the floating wind industry has made this something difficult, completely new, which we have developed a tailor-made solution for this particular case of Kincardine.
Don't disconnect the platform, introduce an up-tower crane on top of the nacelle with an interface between the crane and the nacelle frame that can lift up or lift off the generator without need any other additional cranes.
This up-tower crane, it's tiny compared to the assets that are normally used. You would use cranes that are hundreds of meters high, weigh many tons. And this crane fits in a single 40-foot container. The special thing about this is that it's a floating turbine, so instead of having a static environment, actually the foundation that our crane is resting on, it's floating, so it's moving, due to the current, due to the waves. So it's always moving, even if there's a small sea state or if there's only a small bit of wind, it's always moving, which makes it a dynamic lift instead of a static lift.
You need to transfer elements from a moving vessel to a moving floating platform. That makes things completely different. You don't have a space to have tag lines from wherever you want, such as the same case that you would have in an onshore wind farm.
And also the load that you're lifting, which is traveling from the deck level to the nacelle and vice versa. It starts to move due to these motions of the floater itself. So we had to solve all these issues and we had to design method statements, work methods, tooling, to be able to do this operation in a dynamic environment.
The design phase is something that is key for the success in any sector, to say, okay, this is a very good idea, this has been done. Could this be a possibility in a floating unit? Yes or no? After that, you enter into the different particularities that needed to be fixed in order to achieve a solution that is not only viable in terms of the techniques, but as well safe and cost-effective.
From an HSE perspective, the biggest focus was on the lifting operations, making sure the placement of people was important. You're removing a large component from a tight space and putting another large component into a tight space in a moving environment.
In a very short period of time, actually between the Christmas and the summer, we designed and built all the tooling we needed, got everything certified and approved by warranty surveyors. Did some trials also in the Netherlands on test foundations and so on, and then shipped everything over to Aberdeen, and together with all the other partners in the project, commenced the project early July, and completed the heavy lifting part within 4 weeks.
The next steps will be analyze all this weather that we have had during this summer campaign and prepare some weather windows for the future.
We developed a whole software tool to actually forecast our workable windows, taking everything into consideration. So it's not only wind, but it's also waves from different directions, wave periods, wave heights, and so on. We also use the wave radar that's installed on the floater to validate weather forecasts. And then we used a real-time monitoring of the floater motions itself to constantly assess if we were within all the operational parameters that were allowed for the operation.
The high cost of a tour to port has possibly been restrictive in some decision making about floating wind. In my opinion, it's set a bit of a benchmark for the industry. I think people will now see that it is possible.
If we want that this market, the floating, can grow, we needs to be developed from the beginning phases, like with the platform manufacturers and the wind turbine manufacturers.
Big development on the floating wind industry is going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years, especially here in Aberdeen with new developments that have been approved. So that will mean additional work opportunities for the area, since the turbine will not disappear for a period of time. All the works will be performed, taking Aberdeen as the base for all the operations in terms of logistics, in terms of supply chain. This is something that I think will open a new possibility for the whole industry.